surplus in history, and a whole lot of millionaires to boot. Now, in fairness, my opponent has a plan too when it comes to taxes. But as President Clinton said, it doesn't have any arithmetic. They're trying to sell the idea that you can somehow lower our deficit by spending trillions of dollars more on tax breaks for the wealthy. And no matter how many times they try to reboot their campaign, no matter how many times they try to tell you they're going to start talking specifics really soon, they don't do it. And the reason is because the math doesn't work. They cannot explain how $5 trillion in tax cuts are going to be put on the table without raising taxes on middle-class families. And they don't stop there. They want to spend another $2 trillion in new military spending that our military hasn't asked for. So the reason they don't explain it is because they can't. The math does not add up. So if they go around, as they have in Ohio, with some board behind them with numbers saying how it's a moral obligation to reduce the deficit, just ask them, well, explain us how the numbers work. Because they don't. They don't have a deficit reduction plan. They have a deficit expansion plan. Governor Romney may think it's fair that somebody who makes $20 million a year like he does should pay a lower tax rate than a teacher or an auto worker who makes $50,000. Don't vote me. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it helps the economy grow. We cut taxes for middle-class families. And we want to keep taxes low for 98% of Americans, 97% of small businesses. And the reason is, when middle-class families have a little money in their pocket, what do? Yeah, because they've got a lot of needs. So you may end up, trading in that 10-year-old car, buying a new one. Maybe you buy a new computer for your kid who's going off to college. And what happens when you spend money? That means businesses have more customers. They make more profits. They then hire more workers. The economy grows. That's what we did in the 90s. That's what we can do today. Republicans to reduce our deficit, but I refuse to ask middle-class families to give up their deductions for owning a home or raising their kids just to pay for another millionaire's tax cut. I refuse to ask all the students here to pay more for college or to kick children off of Head Start programs so I can take a tax break that we don't need. We're not going to kick the poor and the elderly and the disabled out of health care to pay for a tax cut like that doesn't help us grow. And I will not turn Medicare into a voucher. After a lifetime of labor, no American should have their golden years, their retirement years, spent at the mercy of insurance companies. They should retire with dignity and respect. They've earned it. We'll reform and strengthen Medicare for the long haul, but we'll do it the right way by actually reducing costs, not by dumping those costs on the scene. Same thing with Social Security. We'll take responsible steps to strengthen it, but we're not going to turn it over to Wall Street. Obviously, we've been talking a lot about what happens here at home, but that's connected to what happens abroad. In 2008, I said I'd end the war in Iraq, and I did. I said that we'd wind down the war in Afghanistan in a responsible way, and we are. Because of the incredible service and sacrifice of our troops. The New York skyline, on the path to defeat. Osama bin Laden is dead. We still face serious threats in the world. And that's why so long as I am Commander-in-Chief, we are going to maintain the strongest military the world's ever known. When our troops come home and they take off that uniform, we're going to serve them as well as they've served us, because they deserve our honor and our respect, and we've got to do what we need to do to make sure they have our protection. But even on foreign policy, my opponent has a different view. He said it was tragic the way I ended the war in Iraq. He still hasn't explained how he ended the war in Afghanistan. I have and I will. And what I've also said is I'm going to use some of the money that we're no longer spending on war to pay down our debt and to put more people back to work. And one thing, because after a decade of